Hey, this is Susan from SmokeAGrillGirl.com, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using this smoke tube to smoke some cheese on the Pit Boss Pellet Grill. So we're going to be smoking some Gouda, Jarlsberg, and then cheddar, and then another type of cheese. I don't remember the type of cheese. It's a spicy habaneros type cheese, cranberries cheese. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and light this pellet, the smoke tube, and it works best if you have a butane lighter. But since we don't have one, we're going to use this if the wind makes it easier to try to shield it from the wind. We're going to get it to light. So we've filled the tube with. Let me go ahead and. We filled the tube with applewood pellets. All right, so we got it lit, and we had quite an issue trying to get it lit with that little Bic lighter. So that's why we recommend a butane torch. But what we're going to do is we're going to let it burn for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back out, blow out this flame, and then we'll put the cheese on. So we'll see you in a bit. Alright, so the smoke tube has been burning for about 10 minutes. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and place the cheese right across the top of the top of the grill on the top shelf. So we're going to let this cheese smoke for 4 hours, except this small piece we're probably going to leave it in there for an hour. And what we're going to do is halfway through, we're going to just place this one right here since it's not right, so it doesn't get a ton of smoke. Halfway through, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these cheeses out, so that way these ones that start off getting the most smoke will end up over here and won't get near as much smoke at the end. So we're just going to close the lid, and we're just going to let them smoke for 4 hours, and then we'll show you the cheese once it's done. Alright, so the cheese has been on the grill for 4 hours, and the tube has completely burnt out of the pellets. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the cheese from the grill. And you can tell that it's been smoked because it has a darker yellow coloring to it. So you don't want to take a bite of it because it just smells nasty, and it'll taste really rancid if you do take a bite. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this cheese inside the house, and we're going to wrap it with it. You can wrap it with either butcher paper, parchment paper, or saran wrap. And you can tell that it's been smoked because it's a different, darker tone, yellow tone to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for 48 hours. And then after 48 hours, we're going to pull it back out of the fridge, and we're going to vacuum seal it and leave it in the refrigerator for about 4 to 5 weeks. At least 5 weeks, until the smoke seeps into the cheese, and then it'll taste really good. So let's go inside and wrap these up. Alright, and you'll notice that I put a cooling rack on here. I placed the cheese directly on the grates when I first started the cheese, but decided to put them on the cooling rack because the cheese was starting to get some black residue from the grates. So don't put your cheese directly on the bottom grates, because that's the grates we cook on all the time. You want to make sure you use a cooling rack or some type of rack. The top racks, it should be fine if you don't use them very often, because they'll be clean. But keep that in mind the next time you cook or you smoke some cheese. Alright, so now we're just going to wrap each cheese individually using some plastic wrap. And as I mentioned, you can use butcher paper or parchment paper if you have that. But the last time we cooked, we smoked some cheese. We actually just used saran wrap. So we're going to do the same thing. And it doesn't have to be really tight, because we're going to just vacuum seal them in about 2 days. And what this does is it actually allows the cheese to breathe a little bit and the smoke to penetrate the cheese more. And then Now, one thing that is you're going to notice when you do this is it's going to make your refrigerator smell really bad. So if you have a refrigerator outside, you'll want to make sure you put it out there. All right, so this is the all the cheese that we smoked today. We took the smaller piece. We took the habanero with the cranberries off after 2 hours, and we smoked all these for 4 hours. So we just saran wrapped them, and we're gonna put them in the refrigerator for 48 hours, and then we'll be back after 48 hours to show you how to vacuum wrap them or vacuum seal them. So we'll talk to you then. All right, so it's been 48 hours since the cheese has been in the refrigerator wrapped in saran wrap, and I want to show you the difference on the color of the cheese. So you'll notice that the cheese has turned a darker brown colored, and this is because the smoke has penetrated the cheese. These cheeses were all left on the grill for 4 hours, and this one was left on there for 2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and vacuum seal all these cheeses, and we're going to label them and put them in the fridge for another 6 weeks before we eat them. And at that point, it'll give the smoke plenty of time to penetrate the cheese, and will also not cause it to smell and taste terrible, because if you take a taste of it right now, you'll notice it's real chemically. It tastes like a chemical, and it smells like just burning, something burning. So we're going to go ahead and wrap these up, or vacuum seal them. So what I like to do is I like to go ahead and label them, the type of cheese it is. So this is habanero. And then we'll put the date that we want to open it. And we're not going to open it until February 15th, 2022. All right, and we'll do the same for each one. Alright, so now that we've vacuum sealed all the cheese, what we're going to do is we're going to put it in the fridge for 6 weeks, and it can vary depending on how long you smoked it, but since we smoked it for 4 hours, we're going to let it sit in the fridge for 6 weeks, because you don't want to eat it too soon, otherwise it's going to taste really burnt and have a chemical flavor to it. So it'll just sit in the fridge until February 15th. At that point, we'll be able to give it to friends and family and cook with it, or do whatever we want with it and be ready to enjoy it. So hopefully this showed you how easy it is to smoke cheese on the Pit Boss pellet grill. And the most important thing when cold smoking cheese is to make sure that the weather is, the temperature outside is cold, because you don't want to smoke it on a hot day, otherwise the cheese will melt. So be sure to check out my website at smokeagrillgirl.com, and I will talk to you later. Have a great day.